Hello, and welcome back to the Handy Outdoorsman. Recently, we decided to buy a tractor to help with clearing the land and moving the logs on the property in the future as we cut them down in preparation for the build of the log cabin. We looked around and searched trying to figure out what was the right kind and right size of tractor for us. As luck would have it, we were able to find a 1949 Ford 8N tractor locally at a great deal. But one of the things we didn't think about was the actual transporting of the tractor itself. We had thought it would be relatively easy to transport it from point A to point B, but as someone once said, nothing worthwhile comes easy. We located several rental facilities easy enough within our area, but the requirement was that the towing vehicle had to weigh a minimum of 3/4 ton. My vehicle is only a quarter ton. So we had to continue checking around, and we finally found a car hauler from U-Haul that would accommodate the weight. But one of the issues we had was ensuring that the tracks of the car hauler were wide enough to accept the width of the tractor itself. Depending upon what area you're in and the availability of the tractors, that was one thing that we ran into at first. And also they do offer a couple of different models, and so we had to make sure that we had the right model that would fit the width of the tractor that we have. You'll see in a moment here as I back onto the hauler that the width of the tires and the rails the tires ride on the trailer are pretty close. And one thing that I read online that it was best to have the heaviest part of the tractor closest to the bumper of the truck. So that's what I'm doing here is backing the tractor onto the trailer. You'll also notice that I'm trying to get used to driving the tractor. I've driven larger vehicles, but not tractors or any kind of farm equipment, so this is a first for me. I just tried to make sure that it all lined up on the edge. What made it challenging was that the tires had chains on them, which would slip and cause me to lose the momentum going up the ramp. Um, it just took me a little bit of time, and I paid close attention to figure out how to adjust. So what I'm doing here is backing up, and I'm trying to get used to releasing the clutch so that I don't just go back with a lot of force, but slowly drive it onto the trailer itself. But as you can see, the tires slip from time to time. So still just trying to adjust and take my time. Once I got used to the feel of backing it up, it became relatively easy. You'll see me looking it over, trying to decide whether to back it in again. It was a little tight, close to center, but still strong enough to hold the tractor, so I left it the way it was and began securing it with straps. As I was doing that, my wife and daughter looked on, discussing my potential as a farmer and razzing me with references to green acres. With the tractor secured, we headed up north. It's about a 2 hour trip between our home and the property, and it wasn't a drive bad at all. It was the Labor Day weekend, and we got up early to make sure that we didn't hit a lot of traffic. but the traffic was light and we were able to get there easily and safely. And as you can see, the tractor is still attached to the trailer, so it made it safely as well. As you can see in the far background there is the trailer from the old camper that we took apart. We'd initially thought about rebuilding the trailer, but between rewiring, buying new tires, and storing, we weren't convinced that it was worth it. We don't plan to haul a lot of large items between our home and the property anyway, and if we did, we'd have to make a trip here to pick up the trailer, take it home, load it, and bring it back. So we decided renting one was a better way to go for us. As soon as we got the tractor to the property, I was eager to try it out to just see how simple it would be to pull out trees. I hooked up some chains and tow ropes and made sure that I had everything that I needed. And incidentally, I'm adding a blanket here over the tow rope so that if the tension caused a break, then the ropes and chains would not snap back with as much force. That's my wife's shadow in the foreground. She's taping for me, and actually, she's a bit further away than it looks, so she's not in harm's way. I'm also taking it really slow and pulling out the trees in order to learn how to maneuver the tractor. One of the surprising things about the tractor is not only that it pulls out the trunk, but it also lifts out the entire root system of the tree, and it will help a lot when we go to dig out the foundation. I hadn't anticipated that kind of efficiency, so it's kind of a bonus that it pulls the whole trunk and root system as well. Here we're just stacking up the trunks and the tree limbs so that we can come back later and cut them up into smaller pieces when we go to burn. The tractor did a great job on the saplings, and I'm curious to see what'll happen with the bigger trees. So when we get to that, we'll make sure that we post that. But I just wanted to give you a quick update of our progress during the stage one clear cutting on the property and an update on a new tool in the toolbox. So as always, thanks for tuning in. Take care and God bless.